This is the Lonestar Axcalibur rear axle.
Oh, the axle.
Hello and welcome to the Fun Going Fast channel, and today's video, let's talk axles. So this is my 2010 Yamaha Raptor 700R. That was SE, that was a bit of a train wreck when I got it, so got it cleaned up pretty good. Had been sitting for years and did a lot to it. But recently, the rear axle actually stripped. And if I pulled that harder with any pressure, this is where the chain would be, it would just spin. I've got a little short on that if you're interested. So obviously I was in need of a new rear axle. Did some research, and I had a Tusk extended rear axle on my 2009 Raptor 700R, and I really liked it. I was really impressed with how much more stable it was in sliding it and just going around turns with just an extra like 2 inches of rear width. And I know some people do spacers, more power to you if you do, but all the research on spacers I've done said they really don't hold up. If you think about the weight and torque that these things do on the rear and even jumping, if you've had good luck with yours, that's great, but I didn't want to try that out. So I decided to go with an extended rear axle, and Tusk doesn't make theirs anymore. They seem to be discontinued, so I couldn't find those. So I did some research, and I found the Lonestar Axcalibur adjustable racing rear axle. So that's what this guy is. So you can see size-wise, it's pretty comparable in width and all that good stuff to the OEM. It is a lifetime warranty if you buy it new, so that's pretty cool. You can buy it directly from them. I got mine from ATV Galaxy off of eBay. I think Motorsport might have it sometimes. It's between $400 and $450 depending on when you catch it on sale. Like I said, lifetime warranty, which is really awesome. The material, it says it's made of a stainless material on the website. It doesn't say what, so I guess that's kind of their secret sauce. Installs the exact same way as a factory axle. You know, you take everything out, comes in this way. There's a huge circlip, spring clip here that you have to pop out, put back on, get a new one, and then there's actually a ring clip on this side that you pop in to hold it, and then you're good to go. So it took a minute to get this one off because this was the original one, and it took some motivating, but once you got it out, no problem. Now the fun thing with this one from ATV Galaxy is the first one they sent was actually for a YZ450, so that was unfortunate, so I had to send that back. And then I was in kind of a hurry, so I actually ordered a crappy cheap like $90 one off of Amazon. I'll show you the pictures. I got it and put it on, and the shipping, the packaging was just a joke. This comes in really impressive packaging, and I'll show you a picture of that now. They do a great job making sure everything's there and carefully packed. The eBay axle just came in the little box with a piece of plastic around it, not a single peanut or anything. It was a joke. So it got hit and the threads got bent. So I sent that back, ordered this one, and these are made to order. So they didn't have any in stock. So it took me about 2 extra weeks to get it. So now I'm about a month in. Got it, put it on, and then this is larger than the factory size, so the factory castle nut will not fit. They send you their own proprietary or size castle nuts, except for they didn't. They forgot to send me mine. They sent me everything else, so that was kind of a bummer. So I just got these today, about a week and a half later. So I finally got everything got on and really excited. So I thought I'd show you how the adjustability works. So it's a pretty cool little design. This actually comes with 4 spacers. It comes with these thin spacers. So basically, you do get a little bit of instructions, but basically the instructions just say use these guys. So you have to put this on first, and that protects the end of the axle so that this then slides on based on that. See, and that catches it, or your width is based on how many spacers you want to go on. Now here's the interesting thing to be aware of with these guys. I'm pretty sure I've got everything set up properly, and it's the chains lined up and the brakes lined up and the lock nuts on good. But it actually, the way the axle is made, this axle actually comes out further on the right than this one does. So if you just put 2 spacers on this side and 2 spacers on this side, your wheels are going to be wider on one side than the other. So make sure you keep an eye out on your spacers. So from what I've noticed, I'm going to go a little bit, so this will go from 1 inch to 4 inches wider total than factory. I'm going to start out, I've got 3 spacers on one side and 1 on the other. So it actually Sorry, it actually comes with 6 spacers, not 4. But I'm going to start out with 3 on one side, 1 on the other. So as you can see, I could add these spacers. And the spacers are about 1/2 inch in width. So I could go another 1/2 inch wider than what I've got it now. But I'm going to start out and see how it feels with these guys. Now what's pretty cool is you really just have to add spacers or remove spacers. If you're at the trail, really just if you've got a way to put your wheels up and you can take your lug nuts off and pull your cotter pins and your axle nuts, that's it. And then you can add and subtract your spacers however you want. So it's super easy to adjust, which I do like. And it seems to be really high quality. So just keep in mind, make sure you're watching, because putting spacers, same amount of spacers on either side, your wheels will be off. So make sure you do. I'll show you here in a second. I've got 1 spacer on this side, so 1/2 inch there, 3 spacers on this side. If I remember correctly, that should put the wheels out in the back just slightly wider than the front wheels, and we'll see how that looks. I'm going to assume this, you have to use all the spacers one way or the other to protect the wheel. So I'm going to put that in front, and then we'll put the castle nut on with the threads. We'll see how that goes. So you can see the movement here on the wheel hub, even though I have all the spacers in place and even with the castle nut tightened down, which is not good. So I had to purchase another spacer to get that to hold in place, because I assumed the manufacturing tolerances were off. So if you do order one of these, I'm not sure how to check, but their tolerances, not sure about how dead on they are with their tolerances, so for what that's worth. But I've got this washer on now in between the spacer and the castle nut. And the tip of this stud is just on the outside of the middle tread, and same on this side, so this should match up. So tapered spacer, 1 spacer on the right side, washer since it doesn't fit, spacer on the outside, castle nut. This side, tapered spacer, tapered washer, 3 spacers, and then castle nut will be on this side. We'll see how that goes. Everything back together finally. So there's the lineup, rear tire to that tire. It's just a little bit wider on the back, and a little bit wider on the back on this side. And then here's the plastic of the axle. So like you can see, it's really high made quality, and it's lifetime guarantee has just been a pain in the butt with the, seems like the tolerances are off, and then of course getting the parts. So there's the spacers on this side. You can see 3, just 1 spacer on this side. And there's my modified washer and a spacer there to make that work. And just the castle nut on that side. And we'll give it a ride and see how it works. But definitely a wider axle is the way to go. I had the Tusk rear axle on my other ATV that I really liked. I didn't have to install it, it was already on, so hopefully this one will work. Not sure if I would order this again considering how much things have been off, but it is an option. Thanks for watching.